Hey there, it's Sabrina from the Honor Roll, and today I'm working with the March kits from Gossamer Blue. We're going to be creating some simple hand-bound Jotter notebooks. So I really love the pattern papers, and this one's main and add-on, and I'm using them to create a 5x7 notebook. So from the pattern paper, for the cover, you'll want to cut a 10-inch by 7-inch sheet of paper. The paper on the inside, you can use copy paper, grid paper, lined paper, whatever you choose. Cut that to 9.5 inches wide by 6.75 inches long. And then I'm just going to position that in the center of that pattern paper cover and hold those sheets in place with some binder clips. So I'm going to be working down the center of that notebook to pierce some holes, and this is going to create the saddle stitch binding. I'm going to use the Amy Tan piercing kit tools that were included in one of the bits and pieces kits a few months back, and I'm using that little mat underneath, and that allows me to pierce through the cover and all 16 pages of the notebook paper, the copy paper, and I can pierce through that easily just with that little owl tool. Owl. I'm not sure quite sure how you say that. But poke through and then kind of do a little twist with your wrist, and then you can see that went through completely. I'm going to use just some black embroidery thread to stitch up that center. And I'm using a large needle that has a large eye, so I'm able to fit all 6 threads of that embroidery thread through the needle. Tie a knot in one end of your thread, and then I'll just begin by sewing from the bottom of the notebook. Start on the inside, go through to the outside, and then back through the inside, back to the outside, and you just want to go in and out in that way until you make it all the way to the top. So I did do some just really simple embellishing on these notebooks. I used some alphabet stickers, some of the labels, the Pink Fresh die cut embellishments, and then the exclusive wood veneer from Gossamer Blue, just to do some simple embellishing. And then I ended up finding out about these great things called a Midori Traveler's Notebook. So I ended up putting these all together in a sort of a cover, and I'll share more about that at another time. So when you make it all the way down that seam with stitching, I went back and then I'm filling up those holes by going back in and out the holes that have already been stitched, just to create one solid line of stitching. When you get to the end, when you get back to the beginning where you started stitching, you can tie your knot onto that original knot, and then you'll only have one little lump there in your notebook. So go ahead and snip off the thread and then remove those binder clips. To help relax the seam of the notebook, I folded it in half, and then I'm reattaching those binder clips along that center seam, and that should help relax the notebook, relax that binding, so it can lie flat. I just let it stay overnight, and it was good to go the next morning. Thank you so much for joining me. For more ideas and inspiration, please visit me at sabrinaallery.com, and to find out more about these products, please visit gossamerblue.com.